Love and light. So we got asked, will ascension or a major shift in frequency happen this year? Um, as to the shift in frequency, yes. Yes, a major shift is already happening. We're in the middle of it now. I'm sure you're feeling it. I'm sure all of you are feeling it in some kind of way, okay? And some of that will be pleasant and some not. Because as we're moving to higher frequencies, that necessitates leaving behind things that are not in harmony. And that is, on the one hand, we may not feel ready to let some of those things go. And on the other hand, even if we're ready to let them go, the process of actually purifying those things out is not always pleasant and not always easy. And it's happening at an advanced timetable because of the energies acting upon us and our interaction with them through our own voluntary, role in the ascension process and our own ascension paths. So when you ask, is the ascension happening this year? As far as like a great solar event happening or something, it can be a bit confusing because like if you watch the channel Suspicious Observers, which I sometimes talk about, where he is cataloging that a micronova will happen, and it will. But even he is seeing it, maybe 9-10 years in the future or something, maybe 20 years in the future. Although he's saying it could happen now, But that micronova that he's talking about that will obliterate third density life, basically, we won't be here anymore. We will be in a higher dimensional Earth, in a higher density, seeing a higher density sun. So that's not going to, or even if it happens, it's not going to affect us in that way in our fifth dimensional bodies, okay? And our whole perception of time at that point. Our perception of time is changing right now. That's why we're closing all these timelines. That's why people are starting to have all these dreams of themselves in other different versions of realities. Very common right now, because we're closing up time loops and alternate versions of ourselves, and we're beginning to merge our souls. Like all this is happening, kind of no matter your awareness of it. So it's more helpful to think about your individual ascension path, okay? To give you some perspective, though, Sal Rochelle, who writes a lot of the books on this channel and is a channel for the founders and many other beings, but he has told me his ascension process will be finished, meaning he will be done with his 7th initiation around 2032. So he will be leaving the Earth realm completely around 2032 to go on to higher cosmic school. This would indicate that sometime prior to 2032, he will have taken his 6th initiation and been moved into his crystal light body, In communicating with him, he has channeled the founders for me and told me that I will be leaving in 2037. And this resonates with me too. So I am 5 years behind him, okay? So this just gives, and there will be a group leaving after me, around 2042, a big group, much larger than the group I'm in, okay? And there will be people, having that experience all the way up till 2100, until this is a purely fifth dimensional school, and it will have a whole different scheme by then. All the earth souls that are here now, all the human souls that are here now, if you want to think of us like that, we will have moved on to other schools by 2100. There will be beings here, there will be new souls coming in to the new fifth density Earth at that point, okay? But we will have moved on. So, um, so again, it's more helpful for you to think about your own individual ascension process at this point, because the truth is the fifth dimension is open right now. New Earth is here right now. It's open. There's nothing that's going to happen collectively, as far as I know. Doesn't mean that nothing is going to happen. There will probably be lots of large events which push people higher, but I don't think there's going to be anything that suddenly all of us are just like, oh, we're ascended. No, it's not going to happen like that. That's not my experience. Um, we are each moving at our own pace, you know? So all you can do is come into harmony with that more and more and more. Surrender to that process more and more and more. Allow that process to happen more and more and more, you know? But if you've just woken up and your reality is like radically different, but you don't yet have any stability, um, you don't have any like emotional and spiritual stability, uh, so you're not feeling like a lot of the blessings having been received yet. Because once the blessings start coming in, once love truly starts to be felt, once this expansiveness starts to be felt, once unity starts to be felt, the whole question of what of you know, whether your ascension becomes like a like, to me it's an interesting point. It's a you know, it's an analytical and a mental point, but it doesn't so much matter, because I know at this point what I want is to feel unconditional love all the time, you know, to to feel that unity all the time. That's all I want. My surroundings out here, what's going on in the world, while it's important, it's much less important, because once you get to unity and love, nothing else really matters. It translates the whole world into a beautiful, miraculous place. And that's the entrance into the fifth, you know? It's and honestly, it's a seamless thing. Like when you shift into the fifth, it won't seem that way if you shift there using a psychedelic or a meditation and you're not ready to hold that light quotient. It will seem like a huge, explosive, dramatic thing. But once you've stabilized these vibrations, and that's why we're moving up in a more gradual way, it will just seem like the most natural thing in the world, you know.